A while.
It says we're live.
Hi, everybody. I'm Terry Wilderman with Awaken the Possibilities Business Hangout. Today is Freedom Friday. It's one of my favorite days of the week in the Awaken the Possibilities group because I've been having some amazing guests on that are part of the HEAL Network, and HEAL stands for Holistic Education and Leadership. Every person I've had on is also part of my faculty for Intuitive Leadership University. And trust me, they have been handpicked because these folks understand that integrating the practical, tactical, and logical, along with the emotional, the energetic, the spiritual, and the intuitive, is really critical to building a really brilliant business and leading a really good life where you're listening to everything that is around you. Let's face it, we have we are in the midst of real uncertain times. And there are folks who are from, I don't believe this, all the way up into panic mode. And today, my colleague and faculty member and Heal Network member, Marbeth Dunn, who I'm going to have her introduce herself to you in just a little bit, are going to be talking about stress and how to shift from panic. And this is downshifting. If you've ever driven a stick, you know that there are times you really need a downshift to give yourself more power. So you go from panic to fear to concern to neutral. So, in getting in that neutral state, you put yourself in a position that you can really see clearly what is going on around you. So, I'd like to introduce you to Marbeth Dunn. And Marbeth, would you please introduce yourself to the Facebook?
Hi, Terry, and everybody who's there. I'm just so happy to be here with you today. I'm an energy management specialist, which means that I work with energy. I've been working with energy for many years through a variety of techniques and modalities, and on some levels, you could say that I'm a master of energy, although I don't like to use that term, but I am very proficient in it. And I'm also a meditation leader. And every Sunday now, I lead a meditation in the World Miracle Peace Experiment group. You're welcome to visit and be part of our meditation on Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern. And also, we have a panel, and Terry Wilderman has been part of the panel, and I'm sure she will be again because she is an amazing panelist and has so much good information to share. And that's pretty much it. That's me, kind of in a nutshell.
That's Marbeth. And I will say that she is one of the most powerful healers. And I get uncomfortable with the word healer too, Marbeth, but she is just absolutely amazing. She's in Florida and I'm up here in Rhode Island. She can sense when I'm out of kilter. And I'll get this phone call. You okay? How did you know? I mean, she's that tuned in, which is really very cool. So to give you a little bit about my background and why we're together here is I, in intuitive leadership, am a certified executive coach, coactive coach, licensed heart math coach, on and on and on and on. And who cares about all that? The results that I get is really what is important. And the folks who I work with are entrepreneurs who are ready to leap off the hamster wheel of stress and leap into calm, ease, and flow. And the goal is to work with these leaders, professionals, and entrepreneurs to help them evolve into unstoppable intuitive leaders and practical business mystics. Because when this is all over, trust me, we are really going to have to integrate that practical, tactical, logical side with the emotional, the energetic, and the spiritual. We are being called up as a society to really reconnect. And I look at what's happening today as humanity screaming for a nap. And NAP stands for nurture, appreciate, and pause. Think about that. Nurture, appreciate, and pause. All over Facebook, you are seeing posts where folks are singing from the balconies, taking care of their neighbors, doing kind things, and taking care of one another. And isn't it about time we start to do that? So, today, the goal is to really help you. For those of you who are like off the top in panic, and there are a lot of you, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is turn off the TV. Turn it off.
And your notifications.
And your notifications, because watching that stuff gets you into a tizzy. There were a couple nights last week that I was watching the news late, and I'm like, why can't I sleep? And it was all this stuff was going through my head. Get off it. I mean, my favorite channel has always been Hallmark. Trust me, I'm watching Hallmark a lot more than ever. You know,
Me too.
yeah, really. I mean, hey, you know, and they've got 3 channels to choose from too. So I choose one of the 3 channels. The thing is, we are being fed a lot of information. What is true? What isn't true? What are we actually seeing? And I don't know about you, Marbeth, but I'm getting so tired of the judgment. The judgment. This person, the nastiness between people. And I'm seeing people calling other people out. But guess what? Who are they to do that?
Exactly.
Because they may be misinformed themselves. So it's about taking a step back, people, in general. Everybody, both sides, get in your corners. Take a chill pill. Take a blasted chill pill. Relax. Breathe. We are all in this together. Every single one of us. And thank God that neither you nor I are in a position of leadership to have to make a lot of decisions for the rest of this entire country, for millions and millions of people. I can't even imagine what that kind of stress is like. I can't. I mean, I have a hard time with my own household, having to do that. Think about it. So it's about honoring the people who are elected, whether we voted for them or not. They are there. And they are the ones who are making decisions for us. And we need to take a step back, take a breath, and just expect that they make the right decisions for us. Because I'm seeing people going off the deep end. And that isn't helping anyone. It's not helping you. It's not helping your family. It's not helping your employees. It's not helping your kids. We need you to stay healthy. And to stay healthy, it's time to go into neutral. And how are we going to do that? Well, there are some tools that Marbeth and I are going to help you work with to help you get into neutral. Because once you get into neutral, you see things a little bit differently. You breathe, your body relaxes. Because that tension, your body goes like this. Yes, it contributes to disease and you get stuck. Your joints ache, your body aches. Any illnesses that you have get worse and worse and worse.
And it lowers your immune system.
It lowers your immune system. It increases your cortisol levels, which makes you gain weight, affects all of your organs and your glands. It affects every single part of your body. I mean, it's really awful to be in that kind of stress. So just today, I do have good news. I did speak with a lovely friend of mine who I've known now for about 4 years. He and his wife are in their 70s. And at the end of December, they happened to be in a hotel that had hockey players from China, and they're Canadian. And the person that they were sitting next to, I guess it was the coach, I think he told me, was sneezing and sneezing and sneezing and sneezing. To make a very long story short, both of them got very, very sick in the beginning of January, and up to temperatures of 105. They had no idea what they had. They did not know until recently that they had COVID-19. And they are both in perfect health today.
Wow.
They are both in perfect health. And my question is, if they had known that they had COVID-19, where would their mindset have been? Because what he told me was that they shuddered. They just went inside and they just quarantined and took care of themselves. They took care of each other. They had no idea what they had. They just knew that they caught some kind of virus. So, where I'm going with you is that our mindset sets the stage for our healing also, and how we are going to shift into calm, ease, and flow. And oh, by the way, please post your comments. I will answer them as best as I can. StreamYard does not allow me to see who is commenting, unfortunately. So if you could just put in there your name so I can address that, that would be brilliant. So, the first thing I'd like to do is read a piece that sits on my desk all the time. And I got this years and years and years ago. I can't even remember when exactly, but I know it was when I had my center. So, I closed my center in 2009, and here we are, 2020. And it's a beautiful poem called A Gift of Love. And you can get a copy of this at, what is the name of this? thegiftoflove.com. And here is the poem. I agree today to be the gift of love. I agree to feel deeply love for others, independent of anything they are expressing, saying, doing, or being. I agree to allow love as I know it to embrace my whole body, and then to just send it to them silently and secretly. I agree to feel it, accept it, breathe it into every cell of my body on each in breath, and on each out breath, exhale any feeling unlike love. I will repeat this breathing process multiple times until I feel it fully and completely, then consciously amplify in me the feeling of love and project it to others as the gift of love. This is my secret agreement. No one else is to know it. And again, you can visit thegiftoflove.com. And it was written by Jerome DeSharo, who is a doctor of dentistry. Isn't that beautiful?
Really beautiful. I love that.
And it's on my desk. It sits on my desk all
Well,
the
you need to post it in the group.
I will post it in the group. I will post it in the group. Okay, so Marbeth, when you hear me talk about stress, what comes to mind?
Well, I know that I have been experiencing some stress during this uh, very stressful period, which can be a very stressful period. But then, and then a couple of nights ago, I couldn't sleep, which was very unusual for me. And so,
Sorry, that was the night I was discombobulated too.
I know. But I recognize that if I'm not feeling calm, centered, and loving, and we don't always recognize that right away, we get caught up in the momentum of things that are going on.
Right.
But when I notice, like, oh, I'm feeling tense, or I've got knots in my stomach, or I'm feeling physical symptoms that excuse me, I'm feeling some physical symptoms, then I might say, okay, what's going on here? What am I feeling? And then if it's stress, then you and I both have the tools to release it.
Mm-hmm. And not everybody has them.
I'm sorry?
And not everybody has them, which is why we're going to be sharing a few pieces with
Absolutely.
you today. Okay. What is your primary go-to tool to help you reduce stress, Marbeth?
You know, I have several. I don't use just one. I'll focus on my breath. One of the things that I've been doing most lately is to, we have these energy centers in our body that are called chakras. And we have 7 main ones, from the root chakra, which is at the very bottom of our torso and at the base of the spine and forward. And then a few inches higher, we have the sacral chakra, and all of these different energy centers. We have the solar plexus, which is above your navel, and the heart chakra, throat chakra, ajna, which is the the center of wisdom here. And then we have our 1,000-petal lotus at the top, the crown chakra. So all of these govern different aspects of our being. And the root chakra is all about safety and security. So when I've been feeling stressed lately, I've been breathing, imagining that my breath when I inhale is going all the way down into my root chakra. And I imagine and I exhale and I follow the breath in and out, which puts me into my body in the present moment. And I know people are hearing a lot about mindfulness. What this does is it centers us into the present moment, and we become mindful of our body and what's going on there. When you're mindful, then you're not in a place of fear, and you're not focused on the past or the uncertainty of the future. So when I breathe and focus and bring my awareness into that lowest chakra on our torso, and I imagine it just expanding out, and I tell myself, I'm safe. I'm safe. I am safe. I'm strong and I'm resilient. And I notice that as I become very grounded in that space, and sometimes I might even let roots grow down into the center of the earth from there. And if you try that, you'll notice that you feel suddenly very grounded. Now, you may be feeling some tension or stress in other parts of your being, but you've actually moved back a little bit and more into that neutral place. So, and the more time that you can spend in that lower chakra and reminding yourself that you're safe, you'll find that you're feeling much more safe and strong and resilient as you tell yourself, these affirmations that I'm safe, I'm strong, and I am resilient. And imagine that energy center just expanding. So it could be maybe 3 feet in all directions. And that can be very grounding and really help.
And the thing with that root chakra, it when you get in there really deep, you really are connecting with the earth. I find that when the root chakra is out of balance, when that lower part of my body is out, my whole lower body parts are out of balance. Things just don't feel good, and belly hurts and hips hurts, and that kind of stuff happens when that root chakra is out of balance. So what you're sharing with us really allows us to reduce aches, pains, and stress by the breathing deeply in, focusing in on that area. If it is indeed imbalanced, there could be other areas that are out of balance, right, Barbara?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All of these chakras can be out of balance. And so it's important, you could take the time. I mean, we're home now. We have time. And so you can do this with the other 6 primary chakras. But I also wanted to say that while the root chakra governs safety and security, it also is a center where we may hold anger and other tribal issues, money, fear. There's a lot that happens down there. So by spending that time and acknowledging that you're safe and that you're strong and resilient, it's also going to be affecting these other issues that the root chakra deals with.
So these affirmations that you're talking about, affirmations is one of the tools that are very, very effective. One of the affirmations that Marbeth keeps reminding me of, because it's been a challenging 3 weeks, is everything goes easy for me. Everything is easy for me.
Everything goes right for me.
Everything goes right for me. Everything goes right for me. And I find that when she's like, Terry, everything goes right for me. Oh, yeah, right. Bam. I go right into everything goes right for me. It is amazing the energy shift, because the first thing is I do believe that everything goes right for me, but I am human. So in these human states, you can, especially with some of the craziness that has gone on, that has been going on, in these human states, we go into reaction mode. And the goal is to avoid going into reaction mode. So when you say a affirmation such as everything goes right for me, you can say the words, but the key is you must believe it and you have to trust it. Because if you just say the words without believing it or trusting it, no affirmation on the planet is going to work for you, quite frankly, because it is that energy that you give those words that makes the difference. So, Marbeth, can you talk about that? Because the affirmations that you teach are very powerful.
They're very powerful. You know, it's interesting. The Course in Miracles tells us that there's no such thing as an idle thought. So it's important that we watch our thoughts because all of these words are very, very powerful. And if you're telling yourself everything goes right for me, but on another level, you're telling yourself, oh my God, look what's going on there. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, I can't believe that just happened. Now what am I going to do? And you've got this constant chatter that's pulling you down. You're actually driving with one foot on the brake. You know, you want to go to everything goes right for me. And but if you're also, you need to become more aware of what your thoughts are.
Yeah. And where that goes, I'm going to pull up a card that I pulled up today, Law of Attraction. These are Archangel Michael cards. And in the Law of Attraction, the thing is, everything is about your thought. So in Law of Attraction, what you think about comes about. So those thoughts, those energy centers you're talking about, Marbeth, can you say more about how they integrate with Law of Attraction?
Well, if we're going to be saying everything goes right for me, and there is no foot on the brake, there's no resistance, there's no drag, well, then you're going to notice that everything is going right for you. However, and that is with the law of attraction. You know, if you're holding very positive thoughts, then that's what you're going to be attracting. But if you're holding fear thoughts, which are a very low vibration, or anger or depression, or you're judging, and you're not in these higher frequencies, shall we say, of love and peace and joy and everything goes right for me, well, then you are driving with the one foot on the brake, and you're also going to be sending a mixed message out into the universe. And so this field where everything can go right for us is also receiving messages of, oh, that's terrible. I can't believe that just happened. What about my money? I've lost my money, you know, and or I've got bills to pay. Instead of, you know, focusing on these, I think one of the better ways to attract what you really want is to use the tool of gratitude and just recognize that everything that happens to you, whether it appears to be positive right now in this moment, or if it appears to be something negative. You know, like a friend of mine is, you know, she's working at a place like Home Depot, but it's a privately owned business, and she's, you know, she's still working there now because constructions is an essential industry, and so she's an artist. She's always loves to paint and would love to work in a gallery. And she was there, and they had an application. She could have been there. She could have been working, and yet she just felt, no, I'm not feeling anything for this. And then, you know, you know, it's essential for her to be working now. And had she taken that, she wouldn't be working. So, you know, we receive these things. These experiences. You know, there's a Chinese proverb about a man, or a story about a man whose son fell and broke his leg, and so he couldn't work in the fields. He's a farmer, and his neighbor said, "Oh, that's too bad." And he said, "We'll see." And then the army came and conscripted all of the the young men of the son's age, but he couldn't go because he had a broken foot. And they were like, "Oh, you're so lucky." And he said, "Well, we'll see." And then, you know, so there are all these things that happen. We don't really know.
That's right.
What is the result of something that's happening right now.
That's
But
exactly right. We don't know. There's always a silver lining in absolutely everything, no matter how bad and how dark it appears in the moment.
and so when the economy appeared to stocks were going down, I was like terrified to even look. Not really terrified, but I was very concerned.
Right.
And I was like, oh, thank God, I still have money, you know, even though it's going up and down. But there's, and I just felt a lot of gratitude. I wasn't focused on what's happening, but I was feeling gratitude for what is. And I think that's a really good place to shift your thinking if you're concerned with what's wrong. Look for what's right.
And that's with NAP, nurture, appreciate, and with gratitude, appreciate and pause. So, Marbeth, one of the things I want to talk about is um, love is a real healer. Okay, you've got hate, judgment, you've got love. Hate, judgment, love. There's always opposites. When there is someone who really gets you upset, really triggers you, and trust me, I had to put Twitter away. I was going absolutely bonkers reading some of the stupid, and I'm just going to say stupidity.
Don't do it.
I just went, I'm up. That app's going right off my phone. I can't take it. So yeah, that went away because I mean, I'm looking at both sides again. It's like both sides go, holy moly. I just blessed them. I just sent love. I just blessed them because I found myself getting upset, and this is where I'm going to go. I teach this stuff, and I was reading it, and I found myself getting upset, and I'm like, what am I doing? Practice what you preach. Physician, heal thyself. So what I realized was I wasn't practicing sending love. I wasn't practicing thank you for your perspective. I wasn't saying I appreciate your perspective. I wasn't saying thank you for educating me because every comment and every judgment is an education for me because it takes me to a place where I can understand and really get a grip of what it is that I need to know for me and my family. Right? And what is best for us, and what I choose to believe or not to believe, and what I choose to focus on. So when we just say, I bless you, I bless you, unfriend people on Facebook. I mean, I really stay away from political stuff on my Facebook page. I have unfriended so many people because their political focuses are so entrenched and deep that they will not hear anything else. And that's not the kind of people that I want in my world. I want people who are willing to dialogue. I want people who are open minded. I want people that if I don't agree with, I can still have a relationship afterwards. And I can, hey, I don't really agree with you, but, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Can you tell me more about why you think the way you do? Why do you believe that? There are some folks you can't do that with, and they're the ones I don't want in my world because they're so um, there's no opportunity to dialogue. Okay, there's no opportunity to have a really good discussion. And again, that's not my ideal person to get in there. So what I do is to help me stay grounded and is I take a deep breath. What you were talking about is you were breathing. Notice where you have the stress in your bodies. And this is one of the tools from my Shiftology toolkit. Notice where you have the stress in your body. Take a deep breath. I ask people to put their hand, I don't care whether it's your right hand or your left hand, put it on your chest and turn that hand into an air magnet. So turn it on your hand and put it on your chest and breathe in with me. In and out. In and out. So this air magnet is bringing the air in because what happens is when we get stressed, we forget to breathe. We don't breathe. Some of the times that I've ended up in the hospital because it was before I became a stress coach and studied, got licensed in all this stress management stuff, and I ended up in the hospital a few times. The nurses would run in the room and say, breathe, because the machines weren't working. So when we get stressed, we forget to breathe.
Yes.
Breathe in. So breathe into your chest, breathe out. Breathe into your chest, breathe out. Breathe into your chest. The next step number 2, is to think of something that makes you feel good. holding a baby, holding a puppy, walking on the beach, feeling your feet in the sand, walking around the block, standing there holding onto a tree, anything that makes you feel really, really good. Think about that and just feel it, feel the energy go through you. The third step is to just sit in that energy for a while. And what's happening physiologically is that your energy, the cortisol starts to go down. You go from panic to fear, from fear down into neutral, or concern, and then into neutral. So you're downshifting, and that's the goal. You're downshifting. So the moment you feel yourself in panic, put your hand on your chest, take a deep breath, downshift by taking deep breaths into fear. From fear, think of something that you love and that really feels good. From fear, then you're now going into concern, and you just stay there and stay there and stay there as long as you need to until you're into neutral. So you are downshifting from all the way up here down into neutral. And I call that the quick shift technique, quick shift zone. And you can go to quickshift.zone.com. Quick, Quick, shift, SHIFT zone.com. It's a free little tool. Just go in, grab it. That tool saved my life 10 years ago when I learned how to work with this tool. And it seems so simple. You don't think it works, but it really, really, really works. Another tool that you can download, and we've talked about it before, is Emotion Code or Body Code. You can go right to your phone. You can go to the app. Whoops, there we go. You can go and download the app Emotion Code right to your phone, and you can learn about how to work with it. It does muscle testing. And one of the fears I would like to release right now with all of you is fear. And I have my little magnet. I explained in one of the last videos that we did that when you use the magnet works with the energy centers in the body, and it helps to release a lot of the trapped emotions that we have. And Marbeth and I play with our magnets all the time. And we use when we muscle test, we find out where the fears are in our body, where the imbalances, the trapped emotions are. But for right now, I'm just going to focus on the two words, panic and fear. And this specific magnet is one that I got at Five Below. You've heard, or here we are, and it goes into the right into the air duct of the car, and I just attach it, bam, right to the back of my phone. So this puppy is with me all the time, and I use it constantly. So there are times I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and I just open up my Emotion Code chart that I downloaded from. And I have an Android, so I downloaded from Google Play. So I use the chart all the time on my phone to determine where I may have a trapped emotion at that point in time. So, Marbeth, you don't have a magnet, but you're just going
We're
to
just going to use my hand.
use your
I
hand.
use my hand mostly. I
Oh,
do sometimes use a magnet
yeah, so I use the magnet only. I don't know why I use the magnet. It works for me.
because
So
our hands are there's magnets.
there's
We're in
magnet in
the
your hands. If you don't
electromagnetic
have a magnet, don't
frequency.
worry about it. But the this meridian, by the way, that we're going to be using, this meridian, it affects you see me going from the front. It goes from the throat chakra all the way up into the third eye chakra. It goes above the crown chakra all the way to the back to the bottom of the spine. So we're just going to work this way. We're just going to go just like this, okay? And just say to yourself, and follow Marbeth, and I will do it this way. I am releasing panic, releasing any trapped emotion of panic, and I'm going to take it a little further. We are releasing panic from our red cells and our white cells, releasing panic from our blood, releasing panic from our plasma, releasing panic from every single liquid component in our blood, releasing panic from our bone marrow, releasing panic from our bones, releasing panic from the ligaments, muscles, and tendons, releasing panic from the fascia of our bodies, releasing panic from our skin, releasing panic from our eyes, our glands, and every single chakra in the body, releasing panic from every single part of our body. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Okay. And for those of you who did this, how do you feel?
I feel great.
I feel great too. Anybody else? Just share if you could how you feel. And now we're going to go into, I'm going to do the same thing with fear. Now, this is not pure emotion code. I'm adding some other techniques that I work with on this. So we're just sort of doing
Playing.
a little mishmash. I'm playing here. All right, so let's do some fear. Okay, hand over the head. We are reducing fear from the red cells, from the white cells, from the plasma, from our blood. We are releasing the fear from our bone marrow, releasing the fear from our bones, releasing the fear from the ligaments, muscles, and tendons, releasing fear from every single joint in our body, releasing fear from our organs and our glands, releasing fear from the fascia of our skin, and releasing fear from our skin. Releasing fear from all areas of our head, all areas in our torso, our hips, our knees, our ankles, and feet. Releasing fear from our body. Releasing fear from our body. More time, releasing fear from our body. Okay. So you've learned about affirmations today. You've learned about the root chakras with Marbeth. You learned about emotion code. You learned a little bit about how to release fear and panic using the quick shift zone
Gratitude.
and gratitude.
Law of
And
attraction.
love, affection. Oh, there's one more tool, and this is one that Marbeth and I play a lot with, and that is we put on our Iron Women suits in the morning.
Oh, yeah,
When we
that's a
first
very
wake up.
important tool.
It's a very important tool, and mine happens to be a female Iron Man suit, and mine is red. What color is yours, Marbeth?
Mine is red. And then, if you don't want to put on an Iron Woman suit, well, a tool that I used to use until I discovered the Iron Woman suit was to go inside a disco ball.
Yes.
Imagine there's a disco ball all around you and it's reflecting anything that you don't want.
There you go.
It doesn't get in.
There you go. So we have given you a whole bunch of tools, and that disco ball, by the way, I add one little piece to that is, and from my heart, I am in that disco ball and I fill it with love.
Absolutely.
Only love can go out from me, and only love can penetrate the disco ball, nothing else. And that disco ball walks with you everywhere you go. And you add to that the affirmation of the affirmation you always get on my case about, Marbeth?
Everything goes right for me.
Everything goes right for me. And then you add in the deep breathing, you add in the quick shift, you tune into how your body feels. You have so many tools that we've given you in 37 minutes or 38
I
minutes.
know. I wanted to add something too. We are all energetic beings. We look like we're solid, but if you condensed all the matter in your body, it would be smaller than an apple seed.
Yes.
So basically, we're energy. And the energy is what fills everything out and appears to be solid. But we have these other bodies also. We have an emotion body. We have a mental body. In Kundalini Yoga, there are 10 different bodies. And so what happens is these etheric bodies can overlap with other people's energy. So you are always interacting with other people. So when you put yourself in a disco ball and fill it up with love and letting love come in or go out, you're actually setting that intention that even though your field is overlapping with the energy field of other people, you're not going to be picking up their stuff. And I find that about 85% of the people that I work with are carrying other people's stuff. Yeah. So that's a really important tool to use.
And that's what you call shielding, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the other thing is before you go to sleep at night, try to surround yourself with positive music, with positive sounds, with positive vibrations, aromatherapy, things that are going to lift your spirits. the more that the higher you are, the easier it is for things to go right for you.
It really is. And the other thing is be very cautious of when you are in a high vibration of being around people in lower vibrations and them trying to bring you down, right? Stay in
Mm-hmm.
a high vibration. They may call you a Pollyanna. They may call you a do-gooder. Or, why are you always so positive? Choose to stay there because that's where your health lives, in mind, body, and spirit.
That was a really important word, Terry, the word choose. We
Yeah.
can choose to be peaceful or we can choose to be upset. We can go on default. So, really, being peaceful and calm and in that neutral mode is a choice. We have that ability to choose every second. And something can knock you out of your bubble, but you can choose to go right back and say, you know what? I'm not going to pay any attention to that. I'm choosing to be peaceful right here and now.
That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have no questions, I'm not seeing any questions coming in. I hope that today's Freedom Friday has given you some tools, some insight, and some ways to be able to really learn how to control your anxiety, your fear, your panic,
What
and
panic? What anxiety?
what anxiety. And there's a big difference between being fearful and being concerned about somebody. Big, big, big shift in vibration.
Mm-hmm.
So concern is a good emotion. It's much better than panic or fear. Concern is okay. The goal is to stay in neutral and to understand, by the way, that each of us have our own path to fulfill in this lifetime. When we gain control, when we give up control. I'm going to say that one more time. We gain control when we give up control and allow what needs to happen. It's our reaction to things that creates our stress. So are we going to react negatively? I said earlier the word choose. Or are we going to react to something from a neutral perspective? And that's where you really want to be. You want to avoid reacting if you can. Go
I
into
got
that.
to add something else, Terry. You know, we don't have to do it ourselves. We have unseen helpers. There are angels, there's Holy Spirit. We don't have to do this ourselves. We can ask, help me see this a different way. Help me feel good right now. Help me release this. And also, well, we could just go on and on. There's so many
Yeah,
different
we
tools.
really could. We could do all kinds of things. But now that you picked up about, you did talk about our spiritual guides and that kind of thing. I did have a green screen behind me. I used to do all my podcasts with green screens, and I decided to stop because everything kept getting fuzzy no matter what I did to the green screen. And it wasn't until a couple of weeks ago that I realized that somebody said, "Terry, look at this." I don't know if you can see them clearly or not. See my angels back there? Your angels have your back. Your angels have your back. And that's when I went, of course they do. So
Yeah.
from now on, the heck with the green screen. My angels have my back. And if they have my back, that means they're helping me so that I have your back.
Yep.
So angels are always there. The thing is,
You have to ask.
ask. And that's a great place to end today's podcast, today's Facebook Live. Thank you, Marbeth, for helping me share with others what they can do to reduce their stress levels in this insane time. Thank you all for being here today, and I hope you learned at least one or two new things. So we will see you next week, where I will have Dr. Dorothy Martin Neville with me. I'm so excited. She's also another faculty member of Intuitive Leadership University and a Heal Network member. So we will see you next Friday. Take care.
Bye.